Now let us start the solution of example number 1.7. Now here figure is already given. A triangle ABC is given. Now there are three charges which are placed on the vertices of a triangle. The first charge Q is placed here. Q1 is equal to Q. Second charge Q2, its magnitude is Q, is placed at the vertex B, and the third charge is placed at the vertex C. Let us call this as charge Q3, and it is given minus Q. So this is the given condition. Three charges are placed in this way. And now what we have to do here? We have to find the force on each charge. That means we have to find the force on charge A also, charge B also, and charge C also. So now let us first find the force on charge C. So we know that on this charge which is at point C, the force will act due to the charge at point A as well as the charge at point B. So we can write here the force on the charge at point C is due to the force on the charge at point C due to A as well as the force on the charge particle C due to B. Force on C is due to A also and due to B also. So resultant force is due to A as well as due to B. This is a vector addition. Now here we can see that this is an equilateral triangle which is given. So here this angle will be 60 degree. This angle is 60 degree. And we have seen in 11th standard that if there are two vectors, suppose vector P and vector Q, and if theta is the angle between these two vectors, then the resultant vector R can be given as vector R is equal to vector Q plus vector P. Simple addition. So here also we have done this only. The force on this charged particle is due to A, and the direction of this force is towards this. Why it is towards this direction? It is because here the charge is negative and the here charge is positive, so there will be attraction. So this charge will attract the charge at point C. So the force on this charge at point C will be towards this direction. Similarly, the force due to the charge at point B on the charge at point C again is towards this direction. Why? Again the reason is same. Here the charge is negative and here the charge is positive, so this charge will attract this charge. So two forces, this is nothing but it is force on C by A. See, I have written this C by A, so this is the force in figure. Similarly, force on C by B is this, so I will write here also force on C by B. Now we know that here also charge is Q and here also charge is Q, so magnitude of the force in this direction, that is CA, will be equal to the magnitude on the force in this direction, because here also charge is q and q magnitude is same. Also the distance, this distance, let me call this as L, which is given in the figure also. Even this distance is also L, so distance is also same. So we can say that this force and this force both are same only. Now once again come to this topic, that resultant vector R is the summation of these two vectors, and so the magnitude of R can be given as square root of q square plus p square plus 2qp cos theta. This you have studied in Iran standard, that the resultant vector is given by this formula and its magnitude is given by this, if the angle between the two vectors is known to us. So if we apply same thing here also, this is equation number 1, and now if I say I want to find the magnitude of force on this point C, that is Fc, which will be definitely here, as this resultant vector is between these two. Similarly, this is the resultant force on C, which is in this direction, between this force and this force. So we are going to find the magnitude of this force which is asked. Now a resultant force F on C, its magnitude can be given as F is equal to square root of force on C by A square, that is square of this, plus force on C by B square plus 2 into this into this. You can see this also, this standard equation, and we are applying this equation here. Force on C by A into force on C by B cos theta, and here theta is nothing but it is 60 degree. So now this equation we have written, but as I said that force on C by A is equal to force on C by B. Both these forces are equal in magnitude. I have shown here also that these two forces are equal in magnitude. So now we can write here as force on CA is equal to force on C by B is equal to, let us call this as F only. So now in place of FCA, FCB will simply write F. So therefore magnitude of force on C is equal to, in place of FCA we are going to write now F. So F square plus force on C by B, that is also F. So F square plus 2, what is CA? Again it is F. What is force on C by B? It is denoted by F only. So F into F becomes F square. And now cos theta. Cos theta. What is theta? So theta is nothing but it is angle between FCA and FCB, which is 60. So here we will write 60 cos 60. Next step, quite simple. You can see here f square plus f square is 2f square. So this becomes 2f square. Here also there is a 2f square cos theta. So this 2f square and here 2f square becomes common. We can take it common. So 2f square is common this. So here what will remain? 1 because this 2f square is taken out, and here if we'll take out this 2f square, then we'll get plus cos 60. Now what is the value of cos 60? We know that the value of cos 60 is, come on, you can try it, it is 1 by 2. So we'll write here cos 60 as 1 by 2. Now simple mathematics is there. F square, and this is square root. 1 plus 1 by 2, it is 3 by 2. So if I take this f outside, out of the square, so it is simply f, and here it is 2 which is remain here, and 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2, and this f is taken out, but this quantity is again in a root, so we can write in the power form like this, raised to 1 by 2. Finally 2 cancel and remain 3 raised to 1 by 2, means root of 3. So finally we can say that our answer is root 3 here, and this is f. So force on the charge particle at point C is root 3 f. So this is magnitude. Now here we want to find the resultant force on C. So its magnitude is already obtained, but we have to give the direction also. So now you can see from the figure, its direction is exactly from the middle region. From point C, it is in this direction. We can say that for this, it is a bisector of this angle. You can see this angle, angle ACB, and this is nothing but it is the bisector. So we can say that the direction of the force is along the bisector of angle ACB. So direction is along the bisector of angle ACB. So it is necessary to find the magnitude as well as direction for a resultant force. Now here we have obtained the resultant force on C. Similarly, we can find the resultant force on A also and resultant force on B also. I will give you some hint and then you have to solve yourself. Now let us find the resultant force on A. Now on this charge particle A, the force is acted by the charge at point B. As these two are like charges, the force will be repulsive. So here this charge particle will experience the force in this direction, because this charge particle will apply the force in this direction. So the force on A due to B is this. I will write here force on A by B. Similarly, the force on A by C, but again we know that these two are opposite charges. Here it is negative and here it is positive. So this charge will attract this charge, and attract means the force will be along this direction. So force on A due to B is this FAB, and force on A due to C will be FAC, force on A by C. Now one vector is this. One vector means one force. Force is a vector quantity, and the other is in this direction. And here you can see that the angle between these two vectors, as it is an equilateral triangle, you can easily make out that this angle now will be 120 degree. So now we can say that here the angle is 120 degree, and we want to find the resultant force of these two forces. It will be definitely along this direction. This is nothing but the resultant force on A. It will be in this direction. So now we can again write for this as the force on A is due to force on A by B plus force on A by C. Remember this equation. So as earlier, when we obtained the force on this particle, we have written this equation 1, and then we have applied this formula, and then simple calculation is there. The magnitude earlier was also same, so we have taken it as F. Here also in this case the magnitude of the force will be same. The force on A by B will be equal to the force on A by C. The magnitude will be same because here also the charge is Q, here also the charge is Q, here also charge, its magnitude is Q, and here also the magnitude of charge is Q. Even distance, here also it is L, and distance here also it is L. So this equation we obtained in a vector form, and then the magnitude of the force on A can be obtained in a similar way like that which we obtained earlier for C. The difference here will be only this cos theta. Earlier the angle was 60, but now the angle is 120. So here the difference is only the angle. This quantity will remain same, this will remain same, this will remain same. Here in place of 60, now we will write 120 degree, and you know that the value of cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. Value of cos 120 will be minus 1 by 2. So if we put here minus 1 by 2 and then solve it, your answer will be magnitude of force on A will be simply F only. It will be F. So magnitude we obtained. The magnitude of force, this FA, is simply F by calculation. And then about the direction, as we know that the direction is exactly between this is the direction, and which is parallel to this side. You can see that this vector is parallel to this side BC. So we can say that the direction is parallel to BC, B to C, parallel to BC, this direction. You can see this as well as this, they are in same direction. So in this way we can find the magnitude of force on A, and finally we can find the force on B. The force on B, again the method is similar to that of A, because here the force on B is due to A, which is in this direction. The force on this charged particle B due to C will be in this direction, because the force will be attractive here. Here the force will be repulsive. So this is the force on B by A, and this is the force on B by C, and the resultant force will be this this is the force on B due to these two forces. This is resultant, we can say, of these two vectors. Again, the angle here is 120, which was earlier we have obtained this 120. So similarly the angle is 120, and so we can find the resultant force here also, which will be again equal to F only. But the direction here is this. So now we can say that the direction is parallel to AC. The direction of this force on B is parallel to AC. So here we complete our example number 1.7. I hope you will not have any doubt